Okay.
Oh.
No sound. No song at the beginning. Oh, that's quiet.
Spooky. Welcome to One Foot in the Grave podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake. Good day.
Welcome. We recorded last week, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was unfortunate.
So there's
yeah,
nothing
and
we can do about it.
I had for the last one, I'd actually put a couple of stories together, and of course, I took my notes on my laptop that I can't find. So
I don't remember it being
good.
all that great.
No.
So it's probably okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be home for the next couple of weeks. It seems.
Oh, as are pretty much everybody else.
Not my children or my wife.
I don't understand what's going on in Australia. So there's this, obviously, the coronavirus. Everybody's quarantined and isolating. And then in Australia, they're like, oh no, send your kids to school. That's fine. We don't really want the old people around. They have quite a big carbon footprint. I'm just going to... The thing is, though, it isn't just the old people who are getting really sick.
Well, also, I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I'm not talking about, the younger sibling of Mrs. Information.
Ms. Information. It was like the strip club in Moncton called Misbehavin'. There's misinformation.
Well, I was like, Aaron, it's so dumb that they're not, having the kids stay home. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. And she was like, Dan, like, get real. There's only 11 cases in Queensland. And I was like,
no, there isn't.
No, Aaron. That was like 4 days ago. There were 11. And she was like, oh, that's bullshit. I'll look it up. She goes, yeah, there's 148. And I said, that's different than 11.
There's only 148 cases. And, no, 307 cases. No, just a second. It's updating. 605 cases.
Yeah. It's like this logarithmic.
Well, it is. It is an exponential equation. It doubles every 3 days. And, the thing is, if you don't clamp down on it, we're all totally fucked. Pardon my French. But
it's kind of like the geisha.
Yeah. It's a weird situation because I can tell you from the medical side of things, what happens is that, either 1 in 10 or 1 in 5 people who get this virus end up needing to be intubated and ventilated. And you only have so we have a city of a catchment area of about 150,000, 200,000 people use our hospital. And it's the tertiary care center, so it's really 750,000 people for some things. But we have, 25 ventilators. So if 250 people get sick and 25 of them need ventilators, that's
but here's
and you're out of ventilators.
So you've got, let's say you had 150 ventilators. Let's say you had 2,000 ventilators. Mm-hmm. How many people can run the ventilators? So there has to be some sort of training. Otherwise, people will just, unless the human...
Well, they're not magic. There are literally numbers that you just program into it. So once, the nurses in the ICU can run them, the respiratory therapists can run them, and ICU doctors, anesthesiologists can all run them. But one thing that's not funny, it's kind of sad and a little bit scary from where I am, is that as doctors are getting sick, they're recruiting doctors who aren't specialists in emergency medicine or ICU to come up and deal with these patients. So somebody sent me a meme today that said, isolate yourself unless you want to be intubated by a gynecologist. That's 100% true. Yeah, or by me. It's even worse.
Wrong orifice, my friend. He died, but it wasn't from corona. He actually literally blew up.
He choked on the speculum.
Gross.
Oh, Lord. Well, we all do things our own way.
So I have got really bad back pain at the moment, back and shoulders.
It's funny, I had that today too.
And I don't know. I think it's because, we've all been sick here at our house, so most likely with the flu because we don't travel and we don't.
You don't know your kids are in daycare, right? Yeah, it could very well be.
It could very well be, but
that's a bastard of this. They're not testing. They're like, oh well, we only have 40 swabs for 37 million Canadians, so use discretion.
Did you go to Wuhan? Have you been to Italy? No.
Yeah, no.
You don't have corona.
Yeah, we're gonna assume it's negative, but just don't touch anybody. But the thing is, when you don't know if you have it, you don't know if you've had it, and you just got lucky and you had mild symptoms.
Exactly.
So now we still have the isolation is going to go on forever because nobody knows if they've had it, if they're immune to it. There's no test to find out if you're immune to it.
I did go to the doctor before it all kind of blew up, and I was just like, my chest is sore and I'm coughing up stuff, and I was like, just want to know whether I need antibiotics or not.
Yeah.
And she was like, you don't need antibiotics. And I was like, well, is it okay for me to go to work? Like, am I contagious? And she was like, I don't know. Good luck, bye. And then the very next day, my son was sick, and he was saying to me, I'm scared I'm going to stop breathing in the middle of the night because I am having, she's not here. Somewhere.
That's right, a good parent. Here. Good parent's not available. So don't ask for help.
He's obviously fine now. But he was like, I feel like I'm going to stop breathing because I keep stopping breathing now while I'm awake. And he's like, what happens if I stop breathing? And I was like, in my head, I was like, how can I, make it so he's calm and he doesn't worry? And I'm like, you die. It was like,
you die.
I was like, so it's probably best if you don't stop breathing. And we called the doctor to see if we can get him in. They're like, no, we're not seeing respiratory patients anymore. It's like, okay. Back to school you go then, buddy.
Yeah, that was another thing that happened here. So, helpfully here, we've, I don't want to cause panic, but we're getting pretty low on medical supplies. And Justin Trudeau is our prime minister. And it drives me crazy because, I love Aussie Guy reviews. And he's like, yeah, this is what the world needs. More stuff like this. Because Justin's out there like, you're not going to have to worry about money. But he says that, but there's no plan. There's no money. It's one thing to get out there and say that.
Like, don't worry about money.
You're just an awful person if you say that with no actual plan. Yeah. Don't worry about money. Your government has your back. And then everybody's like, okay, well, I'm homeless now. Thanks, government.
Yeah.
What the hell was I talking about? Anyway,
well,
it's just been such a shit show.
They've stopped mortgage payments. For the next.
Well, they said they were going to do that here, but they didn't.
They've also dropped the interest rate to 0.25%.
Time to renegotiate that mortgage.
Yeah. Are we off kilter here?
I don't know. We could try to sing happy birthday. Okay, what are you doing? Check.
Okay.
Check. Okay.
So
we'll count to 10. Yeah.
What? No.
What are you hearing me say?
Okay, ready? Nothing. We just keep talking
for
about each other, but I don't know whether it's genetics or whether it's the internet connection.
Oh man, it says on mine, I believe there's like a between a point 0.2 and a 0.5 second delay on your voice, because I can see under like 1 foot in the grave, it says 380 milliseconds, 460 milliseconds. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's what mine is saying that too. So maybe that's the delay that we've got, and that's what we have to deal with. So anyway, my back is really sore, and
Right.
I'm trying to not take the Nurofen as
The ibuprofen.
directed by my brother physician. But
Yeah,
also,
don't take ibuprofen.
Yeah, the ibuprofen.
Hey,
but
public safety PSA: don't take ibuprofen right now if you're sick.
I'm trying not to take massive amounts of Tylenol or paracetamol as well, because I don't want to waste it on my sore back if I can't breathe because of a fever and I feel like shit. So I went to this place called Canopathy, and so cannabis here is definitely not legal. So it's
Right.
not like Canada where you can just go to the government and ask for weed. It's illegal here. So I went to this shop which sells legal, like not marijuana or anything like that, but
CBD
it's
or
an
whatever.
alternative. It's an alternative shop. Well, no, CBD oil is also illegal here.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure I was doing everything above the board, like above the law, like not above the law, but to the law. So I went in there and I was like, "Hey, I'm from Canada. Do you have anything for pain relief that will help me?" And they've given me CBD oil, but
Yeah.
the loophole is that the CBD is not derived from hemp or marijuana. It's derived by this like cross-pollinated hops that
Oh yeah.
produces CBD. So I'm going to give that a go and see. So I will keep everyone updated. It's called Immune AG, and it's from some hop plant. And I've researched a little bit. Some of it sounds like a little bit of bullshit, to be honest. But
It might be.
yeah. So I'm at the point now where I'm just like so desperate that I'm going to give this a go. So I'll keep you posted.
There is a smell similarity between hops and marijuana. I've always noticed that.
And a look. They kind of look the
They
same.
look the same. They're like buds.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
So, but like, if it works, man, that would be the best. If you can get that in areas where it's not legal to have marijuana, and you can get the CBD oil from hops, and it's not going to go to jail and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be so happy. You know what though? I don't know whether it's just that whether there's actually enough CBD in this stuff to make any difference, or whether it's just that I'm taking like it's essentially fish oil because it's like a good oil for your joints and stuff.
Might be like an omega-3 fatty acid.
Yeah, because it's coconut oil. So
it's funny you were talking about how you're making decisions. I have been making decisions since this whole thing started, because we came home from the States. Last time we talked, we were in Florida, and and everything had gone. I'm a moron, so we went down the end of February, and it was like you knew what coronavirus was. You knew it was in China. They were building a hospital at the time, and I was like, man, I hope that doesn't come here.
Well, yeah,
and we it really sort of got on an airplane.
Hit so fast.
We got on an airplane.
It became a big deal in a very short amount of time.
We left our home country and our safety of home, and went to a busy apartment in the middle of course, spring break on a beach in Florida. And the first week, you kind of heard some stuff in the news. There were some cases in Italy. I was like, oh man, if it's in Italy, it's probably coming here. And then Trudeau was still flying all the planes in from China and Iran. And I was like, man, I got a real bad feeling about this. And then the shit absolutely hit the fan. You hear the stories out of Italy. The hospitals have collapsed. Everybody's sick.
Yeah.
The doctors are all dying.
I think it's because it's so insidious, like
it's that like two weeks of not having symptoms before you start spreading it around everybody.
Yeah, and then,
but you're spreading it that whole time.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, people are saying, like, recovered individuals are saying that it's so different than having the flu.
It's not the flu.
It's like flu-like symptoms, but they are ramped
Extreme.
up. Yeah.
It's like
But then
having
you've got other
meningitis
people who are-
and pneumonia at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. They say like, oh, most people or a lot of people are asymptomatic. I don't think that's true. I think some people are just tough. You ever wonder like if you could go into somebody else's body, and they could go into your body? Like I have a feeling if you went into my body, you'd be like, man, you feel like shit.
No.
How are you? Why do you always feel like this?
I know. I know. I feel, and that is genetic though, because I feel like Aaron is so tough, and like I felt like shit the last couple of weeks, and Aaron also felt like shit, but continued to do all the work.
Well, that's it. Chrissy never complains about feeling sick, and
Does she
I know
complain about
like
not going to the
statistically
gym,
she
though?
must feel
I
sick.
feel,
Yeah.
When they closed the gym, I was like, I bet Chrissy's feeling that.
I'm worried. I'm honestly worried she's going to murder us. she's
But you've got a home
super
gym
social.
sort of set up, don't you?
Yeah, she can work out here, but we're just so off schedule. Like it's so fucked up. I mean, we are creatures of routine, as everybody with kids are, and like we've got a kid who hasn't been in school for 4 weeks, and I'm homeschooling him, and I'm like, man, I don't know how to do core math. I'm teaching him how to like carry ones and do everything wrong.
And they do it all different now. Like
that's what I
changed
mean.
Math.
They've changed the way they do it, and they're like, oh, use your number scale. And I was like, number scale? No, you just line them up this way, and this is how you're going to add from now on. This is how you're going to multiply.
Phone out, and then you swipe down, you push the
calculator
button, and then you're good. It tells you all that you need to know.
And then I was like, man, I don't even know what else to teach him. So today we were like acts and proof, like the gun safety laws. I was like, man, if it all goes tits up, and I'm first of all, we're running out of equipment already, and we've only had like
I saw people were looting a Walgreens.
Yes, yeah. So we're reusing masks. I mean, we have no face shields. We have, and okay, I'm a radiologist. I'm not like on the front lines of emergency or ICU
yet.
But I am an interventional radiologist, so I'm the person who's up putting all those lines in the ICU with all those patients, and I'm just like, man, every night I'm having nightmares about doing this.
Well,
with
surely
no
they would
mask
have
and
critical care specialists that would do that, though, right?
No, I'm that person. I'm the person who goes up to start those lines. Now, it's not to say that other people can't do it, but I will tell you from experience, other people won't do it. So
it's not easy.
Yeah, and the same with like chest tubes. I mean, thoracic surgeons can put in chest tubes, but if they can get away with not putting in chest tubes, I'm going to be putting in those chest tubes. Anyway.
Yeah, but surely you could not do it as well.
I don't know. Somebody has to do it, right? And if nobody else will do it, then that's my life. I've carved a life out of garbage.
I've just got to shame Elijah. Hold on.
Okay.
Elijah? Buddy, you're being very loud, and that's rude. You can't talk to Mum like that. Say sorry to Mummy. Hey. I will.
Now his kids are still in school. Having them home, this happens about 40 times a day.
For shame, Elijah. For shame.
Oh, man.
We're not even quarantined.
That's what I was just saying. I said, that happens at our house about 10 times a day, right? And so my vacation is over, but I'm still in isolation because we came back. So that's another thing. That's what I was saying about rationing. So we don't have any groceries. Our sweet old neighbor, Doug, went across the street and got us like bread, and he gave us his turkey soup that he'd frozen, the stuff he made after Christmas. He gave us his loaf of bread that he had frozen. So no, it was good.
He puts it in the bin. So
he kept us alive. He was good. I don't want to diss Doug.
Did you see your bandmate Greg?
No.
Oh, because they've just had a baby.
Yeah.
and they're in
And
quarantine.
they went to
people
Cuba.
are like showering them with gifts. Meanwhile, you're getting chicken soup from someone's freezer.
Well, our sweet old neighbor.
Sweet
Man,
old
I'll tell
lady.
you, I don't want people coming over and bringing stuff, but it would be nice if somebody offered.
Maybe
So
I think
Chrissy,
the moral of the story is maybe be nicer to people.
I'm not mean to people, but I keep to
Distant.
myself. I keep to myself.
Yeah.
When they
We've
talk
been
about
practicing
quarantine,
social distancing for the last 38 years.
exactly. When they talk about quarantine, I'm like, that sounds like a great day.
We should try
But
that. We should do that more.
now I'm afraid I'm going to come down with this thing because I was on an airplane full of people coughing. So I've been really, really super, super careful not to get anywhere near anybody else. And if I wasn't in quarantine, I might like call ahead to a grocery store or something and see if they could put an order together for me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see anybody. So thankfully, Chrissy has some friends. So Allie and somebody else. Well, yeah, that's what it's come to. And her friends, I mean, their friends are sweet. One's out here and one's in Norton. And the girl from Norton bought us dog food and grocery. Like everybody's been kind of pitching in.
If things get real bad.
Well, we got a dog too, right?
I know.
But I mean, man, some people are so nice, and some people are such fuck faces. The people who go into the grocery store, wait for it to open first thing in the morning, and then go in and buy all the toilet paper. I think that should be punishable by death. That's
unless
such a
you're
shitty
legitimately
thing to
out
do.
of toilet paper.
No,
So
that's fine.
we
If you're
were-
out of toilet paper, you buy a big pack of toilet paper. Even buy
Yeah.
two if you totally need it. But you don't
if
buy
we were out
all
of
of
toilet
them.
paper, I would line up and I would go in and get the toilet paper.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind of toilet paper calculator that tells you how many days of toilet paper you have left. And if you have more than 30 days, you don't need to go buy more toilet paper. And you certainly don't need to buy all the toilet paper in the store. Man, I feel like toilet paper should be a prize one, like the highest prize attainable right now.
Did I show you my stash of toilet paper?
Did you buy the... So I knew that you had ordered industrial strength toilet paper, like the stuff
because we were on our we get mail order toilet paper like on the normal because it's made of
me too.
It's
And then
more
you get the
environmentally friendly.
well, and then you get the thing that says your order is backlogged by 3 years.
Well, they've just run out. So like everyone went online and bought them out. So they weren't able to fulfill our subscription.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, I'm not going to go and I went to the store to get groceries and there was absolutely no toilet paper because I'm not the lineup kind of guy.
Yeah.
I did get very excited about frozen veggies, which is a real sign of the times.
It is the new way of calculating your net worth is how many frozen vegetables you have and if you have a roll of toilet paper.
But I was like, oh my gosh, like where else can you get toilet paper? And I was like, office supplies. So I went to this place called Office Works online to see because I didn't want to just go roaming around like a toilet paper zombie, like a walking because my ass is itchy and staggering about because it's full of shit.
Get a rash.
And all I could get was one of those giant like airport toilet paper rolls that goes into a special dispenser. So I've got this.
That's okay.
It's probably completely useless to me, but we're down to our last real roll of toilet paper, and I got this 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I've hidden it. I've hidden it because people are stealing toilet paper.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. There was this on my news source, which is TikTok. A guy brought a girl home from Carl's Jr. and she ditched him all of a sudden, and he was like, where did she go? And she had jumped out the bathroom window and she'd taken out the toilet paper. So he thought he was going to get some sex, and he just got robbed of toilet paper.
Oh man. So, it's coming. The looting is coming. I don't have any faith in fellow man after the toilet paper thing has happened. And I figure, man, the good thing is I've got a ton of textbooks I can wipe my ass with for a long time.
But you can't flush them. What are you going to do?
I throw them in the garbage. I'm just going to individually bag them. I've got millions of garbage bags, as it turns out, but very few rolls of toilet paper.
You're going to have shit bags.
So I thought I was so clever. I was like, nobody is thinking of the wet wipes to use them as toilet flushable wipes, right?
Everyone is.
They're environmentally unfriendly. Don't give a fuck. But I can't go out, so I went on Amazon and I found a thing of flushable wipes. I was like, fuck yes, bought it right away. And it said your order is shipped. I was very excited. Then I just got a notice that the order is backlogged and won't actually be shipped. I can expect it sometime in July. Like, okay,
then all of this will settle down, and you'll have 5 million.
That's not going to
wet
work.
Wipes for your.
Well, no, I didn't order that. I just ordered a pack of wet wipes. So now I'm on to thinking Kleenex. Maybe people haven't realized you can wipe your ass with Kleenex yet.
No, they have. They have. Like all soft flushable paper is gone. Certainly from the shelves.
I've got some artwork in my house that I could cut up. The canvas could provide a.
Well, you know what's really funny about this whole toilet paper thing is that I went onto that Office Works site, and you were able to buy 4 individual rolls of toilet paper, but I hadn't been paid yet, and I was like, okay, like they were $3.50 each, and I was like, oh, like I don't really have that kind of cash right now. So I was like, I'll just wait until I get paid. And I checked it the very next morning when I woke up, and it was completely sold out. So I ended up having to dip into my savings and pay $50 for this airplane toilet paper.
To sell my RRSP and trade it for toilet paper.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I could probably go cash in my stock certificates, get the stock certificates, and wipe my ass with them, since that's about what they're worth at this point.
What they're worth. Yeah.
Man, I lost everything. That's another depressing thing.
Except for the stuff that you forgot to invest.
Oh, thank God for that. Although, you know what I did? I invested it because the market was so low.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, you know what? Either this is going to turn around and I'll feel brilliant because I invested when everybody else was panicking and I made, I tripled my money, or it's going to all go to zero and I'm going to be shooting my food from now on, and I've got lots of bullets. So,
and BBs, thankfully.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not allowed to have
air rifles. No, that's too bad. Do you have you should go get a bow and some broadheads.
No, you're
because
not
you could definitely eat kangaroo. I'd eat a kangaroo.
I'm just going to have to do the old chase them down and strangle them.
Yeah. Just go for the koalas. They're pretty gentle. They don't even run away from a forest fire.
There's none left. They've already been barbecued, but that was by Mother Nature. I just want to play this clip really quick because as much as I dislike Trump, he does have moments.
I'm coming around to him because of all the insults to the news people.
Of this hilarity that really no one else would get away with. But I'm going to play this for you because it's. Oh, that's not it. Here it is.
You keep calling this the Chinese virus because ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China.
Yeah, gotta agree with him on that one.
No, it's not. It's not racist at all.
It's not racist at all. It comes from China. It's true. The virus did come from China, and it is a Chinese virus. I don't care. I don't care what you call it because it's end times, it seems like. But now, one thing I've been watching, I'm very sad that this is over. The Dude Perfect Quarantine Classic. I don't know if you follow Dude Perfect.
No.
They did a live sporting event every night. Tonight was spiked ball. It was really good. Anyway, that takes your mind off things for a solid hour. No, spike ball is it looks like a really fun game. I've never played it, but there's like a little trampoline in the middle. And everybody, it's like ping pong mixed with trampoline mixed with handball. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they're getting very creative. Like I saw on my news source TikTok, I saw one guy who every night one of them has to make a theme for dinner, and his younger brother made a first-class airplane dinner. It was bizarre. Anyway, it's a thing that you should watch. Everyone should watch TikTok because it's funny, and even if it's not funny, it can only last up to a minute.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get overly depressed in a minute.
I will say TikTok is owned by China. Just so you know. So
It's China.
that's
China.
That's true. They're stealing your data for China.
I reckon that though you should buy stocks in TikTok if there is.
I don't know
such
that.
a stock.
I think it is literally owned by the nation of China.
No, it's owned by a dude. I've seen the dude. I just don't know what his company is called.
Is his last name Lee?
No, it's Mao.
Tongue.
Ming.
You know,
Oh my gosh! Did I send you that clip from Little Britain?
Yes. The stuff that you're not allowed to put on television anymore. It's kind of sad. Again, obviously, Chinese people, white people, black, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But the Chinese government, the fact that they covered this fucking thing up for so long, and then punished the guy who said there's a new outbreak of SARS, and we got.
Oh, they've exonerated him now, though, so it's all.
They did now that he's dead.
I know.
And did he die of the virus, or did he die because he was a whistleblower? Anyway, who knows?
Well,
But
he
I'm
died
just-
of respiratory failure, whether that was from a virus or whether it was from a pillow over his face. Who knows?
He did get the virus. I think I saw pictures of him in the hospital and stuff. I just feel so bad. What a fucking... It's such a waste of life. And then it's been so horrendously mismanaged over and over again because people wait for the government to tell you what to do. And the government is, just by definition, completely inept. They don't... I mean, you're trusting Justin Trudeau to tell you what to do about the coronavirus. Man, that fucking guy probably can't figure out how a pair of socks works, you know? And
Well,
he's not a
here,
virologist. He's not an epidemiologist. So he's like, oh, keep the borders open, keep the planes flying in. What do you think is going to happen?
People are choosing not to send their kids to school, which I think is a very legitimate choice.
Yeah.
And if they miss more than 3 days, people are getting text messages saying, if you've missed more than 3 days of school, you must present a medical certificate for your child.
That's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
First of all, fuck off.
Yeah, gross government mismanagement.
Yeah,
I would just write
really
a certificate myself and say, diagnosis, you are a fucking moron.
Yeah, but this is coming from the schools. Schools are sending
well, that's
that.
it. Every level of management is fucked. And I don't want to complain about the people I work with particularly, but every decision, it's like the people who want to be in the position to make decisions are the people who don't realize your decisions have additional consequences to the good thing you think is going to happen. So in Canada, keep those planes flying in from China. The good thing is nobody will think I'm a racist. The bad thing is I'll kill 30 million people.
Well,
they don't think of the bad thing. They don't think of the other things.
They're like, hey, you know what? China's in a real bind right now.
Yeah.
Let's send them $40 billion worth of face masks.
So they did. They did. Did you know that?
No.
So as this was starting, we already had cases in Canada. We already had cases in Canada. They sent China 16 tons of medicals. 16 tons of our Canadian medical supplies. Now, I don't have a fucking mask to wear when I'm doing procedures on these people. I'm making my own mask.
Where did they get them from?
Because we have central distribution centers, right? So
they were just like,
they said,
send it all to China.
Let's stand up and get us that so coveted seat on the UN Security Council so little Justy can have a job for the rest of his life that pays probably $1 million a year for doing nothing. And to get it, they sent all our fucking medical supplies to China when we knew we were having the outbreak here. And then everyone's clapping their hands. What a great guy. What a great guy. He's telling us we don't have to worry about our mortgage payment. A, he's telling you that, but it's not true. B, your hospitals are going to collapse in no time because we're all going to get... I'm going to get sick for sure. I can't even live at home. I'm moving out of my house.
Where are you moving to?
to Mum's house, and she's moving to this house and the cottage.
No, that's a stupid idea.
Mum is going to live with Chrissy and Jack.
No, someone will die.
It's going to happen anyway.
No, Jake, that's a terrible idea.
So listen, here's my thinking. I'm definitely going to get sick. I'm definitely going to get sick. We're not prepared for this. And if I bring it home to Mum, she'll die. And if I stay here with Chrissy, Jack will get it, and then Mum will get it and die. So my thinking is the chances of Chrissy and Mum killing each other are a lot less than the chances of Mum dying of coronavirus.
I disagree. So the Sydney Morning Herald just sent out a thing saying, Health Minister Greg Hunt has blasted beachgoers at Bondi who defied social distancing rules and warned the government will be forced to resort to lockdowns if behavior continues. Meanwhile, send your children to school on Monday. Like, do not go to the beach. That is that is absurd. Meanwhile, 30 plus children in a classroom.
So today, Italy, 6,000 new cases of coronavirus and 600 deaths in the past 24 hours. They're also sending volunteer medical personnel because so many of their medical personnel are sick or dead.
Volunteer. That's worrying. But what can you do? Italy boot.
That sucks.
I don't know anything about Italy.
We were in Italy. It was beautiful.
I was running up and down the stairwell because I ate the ice cream.
You were on a weight loss kick at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some good times. Man, I just lost my story about the lady who bit into a sandwich and had a snail in it, obviously.
Oh. So do you have a topic?
First of all, I was going to do you remember there were two girls? Okay. In the 50s, at 57, this family got in a car accident and the two twin girls died. And then they had another set of twin girls who remembered going to the school that the other girls had gone to.
Oh,
remembered all the toys.
Yeah, I remember this from the last podcast that we did.
That failed. I was going to do that one, and then I was like, man, I just want to keep it light today. And then I found a story. It was a great story about a lady who found a snail in her sandwich.
And then she died of schistosomiasis.
No. Oh, God, I hope not. I didn't get that far.
No. It was rat lungworm. That's what she died of. Yeah.
Oh, no.
My bad.
It was coronavirus.
She was patient zero.
Oh, man. Where's my sandwich lady? Okay, so there was one that was a snail that was in her sandwich. There was a second one that was a worm in a McChicken sandwich. Oh. Mm-hmm. And then there was a third one that was really bizarre. It was a picture of a girl who looked like she was possessed. In a wand, like a magical wand. The
death stick.
Yeah.
Or the evil stick.
Okay, let me see if I can find that one. Possessed.
I can just tell you about it. These wands called the evil stick were being sold at dollar stores nationwide. And when you push the button, it would laugh. It would go, mwah, mwah. And it looked like a magic wand, but if you took the little foil front off of it, there was a picture of a girl cutting her wrists covered in blood that
let me
would light up.
Yeah, how do you knew this pretty well?
I invested heavily in the evil stick.
I'll read it to you out of the Independent here. A mother in Dayton, Ohio was shocked this week when she purchased a toy wand for her child at a dollar store, only to find it ran not on unicorn hair, but a picture of a child slicing her arm open. In fairness to the dollar store, literally called the $.100 store, that would be the 10-cent store, the product was named Evil Stick, though the pink lettering, fairies, swirls, and snowflakes on the packaging ensured it would catch the eye of toddlers. The fact that the wand emits a cackling laugh when activated is probably permissible, the horrific hidden image less so. It's a picture of a girl slitting her wrists. I'm outraged over it. Who's outraged, really? Mother Nicole Allen, who bought the toy for her 2-year-old daughter, told WHIO. I want to know how they think that it is suitable for a child. There was Barbie dolls on one side and baby toys on the other side, and these were right in the middle. The store's owner, Amar Mustafa, said it was up to parents to properly read the toy's label. I mean, shouldn't you have just said, "Oh, look, I'm very sorry. I had no idea. We thought it was a wand." The name on it says Evil Stick, he noted. So from the name, if I was buying it for my kid, I would inspect it before I gave it to them. He added that he felt it would be suitable for a 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old. I mean, they see that on TV every day. The wand remains on sale in the store. So there you go. What kind of a fucko would say, oh no, this is fine. That's fine for a 5-year-old. It is a picture of like a devil girl slicing her wrist open with a knife.
Yeah, it looks like the person from The Ring or something.
Yeah. That's ruh-roh.
Any good shows? Oh, Hunters. Have you watched Hunters?
Not yet, no. I'm so tired of celebrities. I keep looking for stuff that isn't celebrities. That one looked good.
Have you watched I'm Not Okay With This?
I've seen the trailer for it. It looks good. It looks a little bit pro LGBTQ. I'm so tired of that. I mean, it's good on them. I don't care if you're gay. I don't give a shit. But man, do you feel like they're making stuff about LGBT people just so that they get more likely to win an award?
Oh, look, I don't know. But do you think that the LGBTQ community, gosh, that's a mouthful. That's what he said. Do you think that they're like saying the same thing about heterosexual couples on television?
Well, you're not going to win an award with a TV show about heterosexual couples. Anyway, I will watch that one probably because it looks cool. I like stuff about
Titanic
people finding
won a lot of awards.
Yeah, not anymore though. You're not. I mean, I guess the guy in that the Hurt Locker was hetero, but it wasn't really about. Anyway, listen to this article from today from Vice. I'm going to read you the headline. As hospitals prepare for COVID-19, life-saving trans surgeries are delayed. Life-saving.
Wait, life-saving? Sorry, I muted so I could cough, and then I couldn't unmute my thing.
As hospitals prepare for COVID-19, life-saving trans surgeries are delayed.
That must be a misprint. It must be life-changing.
No. The guy is complaining because his gender reassignment has been delayed by COVID-19. He thinks we should let them die. I really want my dick cut off.
Well,
I think it's more important. I'm more important in all this. I want my dick cut off so then I can regret it 2 months later and then commit suicide.
There's this guy that I follow on TikTok called Christian Hull, and he's this comedian in Australia. And I can't remember where I was going with that. So follow him.
Something about trans. And look, I've got some trans friends. I don't.
No, he was misquoted. That's right. He was misquoted.
Misquoted, related to misbehaving.
They did an article on him, and they were, he helped write an article about something, and part of it was that he was requested by this guy having a seizure to sit on top of the guy so he didn't hurt himself. And they wrote in the article that is now published.
Shit.
He spat on a man laying on the ground, said to have been having a seizure. Like, seizuring bastard.
Save him. Yeah. My holy spit.
I spat on him.
I got, like I said, I got trans friends, and I know, do your thing, do what's important to you, but it's, don't go in and get fucking coronavirus because you think it's important not to delay that surgery. Just wait it out. For fuck's sake. Just like I would say the same if you were getting fucking cancer surgery. If you were getting a mastectomy, I'd be like, you might want to just wait this one out. Just hold off. Because the last thing you need is a mastectomy and coronavirus.
Maybe not a mastectomy though, but if you were getting like where your ear stretcher.
If you were if you were getting cosmetic surgery, you would be like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Even if you were getting, having a kidney removed for a small tumor. I'd say just wait, just give it a year if you need to. Honestly, just watch it, keep an eye on it, but don't go get coronavirus in the hospital because it's the last thing. It is the last thing you need. A 1 in 10 chance of dying.
The views of One Foot in the Grave podcast are the views of the hosts themselves and are not reflected by the Department of Health or any other authoritative figure.
No, I'm telling you, from a doctor's perspective, don't get this virus if you can avoid it. Don't get it.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, Jake, controversial.
Well, you say that, but did you see the interview with the stupid fucking morons in Florida over spring break? There was an interview on NBC News.
Yes.
If I get corona, I get corona. It's not going to stop me from partying. Yeah. You dumb fuck. Yeah. You stupid fuck.
I know, but they're kids, though. They are stupid.
No. Kids were never that stupid until now. They're so selfish. They're so dumb. It is the generation, of course, made famous by the Tide Pod Challenge. So it's not all that surprising. And really it does reflect on their parents in a sense.
Have you seen the one where they get the bottle of alcohol? I think they call it bawling or something. But instead of drinking vodka, they hold it up to their open eyeball and they put vodka in their eyeball. Like they just tip the whole bottle. It doesn't spill. Like it's just being held there by like using an eyeball as a stopper.
Maybe we should just let the virus run its course. Maybe it's time. You know what's funny? I was listening to a couple episodes ago. We talked about Vlad the Inhaler or whatever.
In the inhaler.
We talked about. I said, my suspicion, my grim outlook was that we had achieved peak human, that we were never going to get any further. And I feel like between that and some of the things that you talked about, I was like, man, that was a very prophetic podcast.
I know, like the malaria drugs. They're saying like they want to use these malaria drugs. So also, I win the lottery. I win the lottery. I win the lottery. It's $80 million this week. I, Daniel, am going to win the lottery.
You're just calling it out.
Just in case this is one of those magical podcasts where what we say eventually comes true. Because you also said, Greta Thunberg is going to be loving this because the pollution levels are going to drop. And then the very next day, it's like pollution levels have dropped significantly. It's like,
I know.
What the fuck? Anyway, so when I win the lottery next week,
you know what?
It'll all be good.
Be smart. Get them to pay you in cash and use that cash as toilet paper.
Can I have this in $5 notes, please?
Yeah, it's worth its weight in gold right now. Just pay me in toilet paper.
What's really disappointing is that Aaron and I have been building this fucking ark for the last 6 years, thinking that that's how the apocalypse was going to come.
Yeah, it is kind of nice to see, millennials who have been chanting that climate change is a crisis. This is a climate emergency. And now they're faced with a real emergency and they're just like beside themselves, just like curled up on the floor. What do I do? What do I do? I think I'll go to spring break. You know what? I'm just going to keep living my life.
Made fun of for doing basket weaving at university to get their GPAs up are weaving these meticulous masks, and they will be the survivors.
It's the survivors. I am waiting to start wearing the Mad Max gear. I've got some leather underpants and a helmet.
Why are you waiting?
Yeah. I thought about wearing my helmet to the grocery store when I finally get released from quarantine. I thought that would be because I'd have no mask.
You're not allowed to wear a helmet inside here.
Oh, that's a fucking idiotic. No, I'm gonna pay. I'm just wearing my fucking helmet.
Unless you've got a brain injury and it's one of those like brain injury helmets. That
you know what? It's a splash guard for your face. Put something in front of your face. I was laughing. I was laughing, and I fucking have come to regret it. Of those pictures of the Chinese guys who cut the bottom out of water bottles and put them on their heads so they didn't get splashed in the face. No, they were right.
No.
That was a good idea.
When I go to Canada, I often will see some horrific sights. One of which is like wearing socks and sandals. The other is tucking your t-shirt into your shorts. Now, when I saw photos of you guys traveling wearing masks and gloves, I was like, Canada's a special place.
I'm going to tell you something, though. And this is serious.
And
if you're going on an airplane, wear masks. Don't go. Don't
get
get on the fucking airplane. The only person wearing gloves was
masks.
Jack. I was just showing how to put them on. And the reason I put them on him was so he wouldn't touch his face.
I was at a clinic yesterday, and a man was walking around with gloves on, like not one of the vets, but like a patron.
Yeah.
Was walking around. Now here's a little thing that I thought we could do. I thought what we would do is donate all of the proceeds from our Patreon page to finding a cure for coronavirus for this month only. So
yeah, sure.
So yeah, so all the Patreons from this month only will go to Corona. So just hop onto our Patreon page. Right now, the current pledge is, let me just check, $0.
$0.
So
feel free to add to that. You know, it's sad, and listen, we get it. We feel for you. If you're out there and you're now all of a sudden unemployed or laid off or underemployed, that sucks. Everybody's been there. It does suck. It'll get better.
Except for us.
No, I've been there, and I'll tell you what. We canceled all our non-elective procedures, and the hospital is empty. Today I made $0. But I'm fine. We get paid when this all comes around. We'll be getting paid to do work again.
Well,
but
I'm
just telling people it's going to get better.
So I no longer work directly with members of the public. So I'm doing all of my educational sessions online. So, if you think that in person I'm not very good looking, you should see me on a 5-cent webcam.
It's okay because it's pixely. You look like Minecraft.
I can only hope.
Speaking of ugly sights, I had to shave my beard, as you know, because you've seen me, and I have jowls like Winston Churchill.
You look like Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, yeah. Winston Churchill, Patton Oswalt.
No, you're not as jowly as Winston Churchill.
I'm very close. It's very sad.
I think it was just the whiteness. I think, you know what it was? It was that you'd spend a couple of weeks in Florida in the Floridian sun with a beard, and then you shaved it off, and you had a beard tan line.
Beard tan line, like I'd been wearing underpants on my face. Yes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be a miracle. It will be a miracle. So today is day what of my quarantine now? I came back 2. On Monday. Today's Friday. So it was like day 4. So I'll know, like most people get it within 5-6 days. I'll know by tomorrow or the next day whether I got it. It will be a fucking miracle whether or not I got it on the plane.
No, I don't think that you will have come in contact with anyone. Because
you should have heard the airplane. It was just rattling coughs.
I know, but it's also cold and flu season, right? So that's part of the difficulty is that it has similar symptoms to the cold and flu. So,
and nobody's checking.
And no one's checking because they're like, it's cold and flu season. But also, the majority of people who are coughing around you are going to have the cold and flu virus.
Yeah.
Because, it is
the more common.
Like, there are a lot of cases, but right now it is a minority of coughing and sneezing is going to be caused by coronavirus, whereas cold and flu is everywhere. And so more than likely you will not get it.
I'm just going to interject with some mini stories while we're talking. Here's one for you. In 2000, Catherine Ortega, the Virginia resident, was in the middle of enjoying a Happy Meal with her son when she suddenly discovered a whole deep-fried chicken head hidden within the nuggets.
Oh, I've seen that one too.
That would be a good like picture.
One of the nuggets. It was a nugget.
It looked. I would have eaten it for sure because I never look. I randomly grab the nuggets. Be like, that was a bit beaky.
That was very crunchy. I had a snake ate a chicken once, and someone got it out of the chicken coop. And the snake started to become in a bit of trouble because the beak and the claws from the chicken were starting to poke their way through the snake. It was really gross.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I went to, there's a restaurant. Do you remember the Outback restaurant? I mean, it's Canadian, but it's based on Australian, theme. And I had a strawberry daiquiri there in the one in Halifax. And as I was drinking it, something hit my teeth and then rattled around, and it went down the back of my throat, and I yarked it up, as I'm known to do in restaurants. And it was a giant screw.
Oh,
it was like a big wood screw. And then more recently, we went to Chez-Leo in Quebec in Shediac. And this was at the end of this past summer.
Yeah, I was there for this one.
Oh, were you there? And we had lobster rolls, and I bit into it full of light bulb glass.
Yeah, broken glass. They call that one the analytics.
That's the analytics. Oh, man. Here's a story about somebody who found a finger. A mother and son after dining
that you have to drink something down until the toe hits you in the mouth.
The sour toe whiskey. That's in the Yukon.
Disgusting. Yeah.
And somebody ate the toe. But you know what's funny? They then held a competition where if you promised after you died that they would cut off your toe and send it to the bar to use on their sour toe whiskey challenge, that they would fly you to the Yukon at like an all-inclusive trip. So a lady won this trip by promising her toe. And the idea was the toe goes in the bottom of the glass and you drink it down until the toe touches your lips, but some asshole swallowed the toe.
Fuck.
Awful.
Could you imagine passing that?
Foot and ass disease. A mother and son were dining at Arby's in 2012 when the pair discovered a bloody chunk of a human finger inside their sandwich, allegedly stemming from an employee trying to cover up a meat slicing incident. No charges were filed by the customers.
Oh my gosh. Humans are just the most revolting. I gotta tell you, I had to pick up dog shit because we've got 3 dogs. They're both fucking stupid. And
both. We've got 3. They're both.
Oh yeah, we've got 3.
All 3.
They are all fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I came home to the biggest pile of dog shit that I've ever seen. Yeah, and I tried. What would you reach for? What would you reach for to pick it up with?
Well, you don't have toilet paper. That's not an option.
No. Yeah. So, but I used toilet paper because I flush it down the toilet.
Right.
So I tried to conserve the toilet paper, but it was too massive to fit in the toilet paper. And so I did 2 trips. And then on the second trip, a piece of shit fell into my palm as I was carrying it. And I was like, oh, this is disgusting. But nothing would be more disgusting than human shit falling into your palm. Even my own shit would be grosser than the dog shit.
I'll tell you something that's kind of funny that occurred to me that I may have to do. Andre the Giant was too big to sit on a toilet. He had to shit in the bathtub. I don't know if you knew that, but that was Jake the Snake Roberts. They interviewed Jake Roberts, and he was talking about Andre the Giant and how he had to shit in the bathtub because he was too big to shit on a toilet.
What did he have to do then? Like frog stomp it down the drain?
Well, yeah, so I was like, man, we got maybe like 2 days left of toilet paper. My idea was that maybe I could start shitting in my shower and squish it down with my foot.
Yeah, no,
and then wash everything off.
You're not out of water. You can still shit in the toilet if you're going to wash it down.
But you're going to have to get in the shower anyway, so why not just poop in the shower at the same time?
They go to different places. Mine, if you did that here, it would then get sprayed out onto my lawn.
That's for gray water only.
Yeah,
That's not
public service announcement. Gray water and sewage are different. Don't shit in the shower, especially at my house.
Oh man. Oh good God. Yeah, I remember washing Jack off many a time.
Oh.
Jack off. Whoops. Yeah, washing Jack.
The old
when,
washing Jack off.
when he was a baby and he was covered in shit. I often wondered, where does all the shit go?
I mean, maybe in like bigger areas, they all do go to the same place, sewage and gray water. But certainly,
I know
if
ours
you've
all
got
goes
septic,
to the same place. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
But in
if you've got
Shediac, I'm not
septic,
sure.
it definitely does not.
We
well-
took him to Vancouver when he was 6 months old, and we used to, you wash babies in the sink and stuff. I put him in the sink and I was washing him, and I just heard the what the fuck was that? And he had this massive shit in the
kitchen
water that he was like stewing in.
Oh
Man,
my gosh!
this is disgusting. It was
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. We bathed him in the bathtub.
good choice. Good choice.
I think in hindsight, definitely good choice.
Yeah.
At least like at Mom's house, she has the carburetor, so
So you can grind it. You can grind it a little bit.
problem solved. Anyway, well, that concludes our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that all proceeds from our Patreon this month only will go to Corona.
Either
From
the Red Cross. What do you think?
The China virus.
To fight the Chinese virus, which I'll remind you is Chinese in origin. The whole
Comes
thing
from China.
whether
Why did he do it?
no, it's not racist at all. It's because it comes from China.
What the fuck, man?
You know what? I
bizarre.
think it's because the Chinese are accusing the Americans of having manufactured the virus and released it in China. And
Yeah, and
you,
also
you
I
never
think
know. Somebody knows a lot more about this behind the scenes than we'll ever know, and we should ever know.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say
they're
my thoughts on it, but I think that's the point he's making. Is he's telling somebody it's a message for somebody that I know where this came from. Having said that, if it really came from the wet market, that place is fucking disgusting. I mean, come on.
Well,
guys.
yeah, I mean,
Honest to
like,
God, who's eating
think-
pangolin scales?
it's
It's
gross.
fucking
I mean,
disgusting, guys.
I mean, they've gone to the
Stop.
extreme of the issue is that they don't have fertile soil, so they cannot farm. They're not a farming state, so they don't have any agriculture. So they have to get their proteins from other
They're a
sources.
farming state.
But
They're most advanced. They probably have the most advanced
this
society
is
in the world.
Wuhan. That's why that's why they're eating those things.
Now Wuhan is
But-
the size of Los Angeles.
Well,
It's
what I'm
fucking
saying
huge.
is that that was a very long time ago, but then it's
Yeah.
become cultural.
It's a
you know?
cultural thing, but there are some
Yeah.
things that we have to let go of. I don't churn
Yeah.
butter. You guys can stop eating pangolins and ferrets. It's not.
The pangolins made me sad. I think they're really endangered.
I know, and they're like keeping them alive, but ripping the scales off. Now, I'll tell you what I hate about Twitter. And I get friends on both sides of the spectrum, but people post stuff, and there's nothing makes me more angry than animal cruelty. Cruelty to children. Same,
Yeah, that's
but
pretty
same
bad.
thing. It's horrendous. Did you see the video that people have posted of the wet market where they're frying a dog alive?
Oh no,
And
but
it's
I'm
barking
not
at them,
surprised.
and they're like putting boiling oil on the dog and like trying to stew it while it's still alive. Anyway, don't watch it. Don't ever watch any of
There's-
those videos. But just
What
shut
you
that
should
fucking
watch-
market down. If this wasn't,
What
I
you
almost prefer to think this was a bioterror attack because that market is so disturbing.
Well,
I
you know
never
what, though?
want to have to think about it again.
It brings it into the spotlight, and maybe, after all this blows over, maybe we can help educate the people who are still eating those types of foods.
That it's
about
wrong
why
to
we
cook
shouldn't.
a dog alive. You fucking assholes.
I know, but if that's what you grow up with, and that was the norm for you,
No.
then we used to burn ants with our magnifying glass. Now we don't.
Yeah, but
do
it
that
takes 1
anymore
second to
because-
burn an ant. I wouldn't do it if it took 15 minutes.
Not the way that we did it, Jake. Let's start with the legs.
No, I'll tell you, it's just vicious. It's just so cruel. And
yeah, so
fucked up.
maybe this will give us an opportunity to change that in the longer term.
But nobody will do it, and I'll tell you why. Because they'll say it's racist. It's more important to go after, once this is all blown over, I guarantee you Greta will just be after Canadians and Americans and Australians. Oh, you know, the most important thing in the world is they stop using fucking plastic bags, which I'll point out would save a lot of people's lives if we had plastic bags still, because they're fucking sterile compared to reusing your goddamn grocery bag. I'm gonna put this out there. Plastic saves lives. So if you're a big fan of Greta, I apologize, but use your fucking brain and don't reuse your grocery bags and take them into a market where people have been sneezing and coughing and then bring them home with germs on them. You're not washing those bags. We know. Use a fucking plastic bag and then throw it out like a smart person.
Well, you know, I think we can all learn from this chick.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry about so many things.
Alternative plastic, like I think they've found a plastic alternative that's made from pangolin scales. So if removed at the right time pre-mortem, then
exactly.
They're very good, very pliable.
I need to know that these pangolin scales are fresh. Oh, here it is. It's still screaming. Perfect.
All right, well, that's it for our podcast today. Thanks for listening.
Stay politically correct, everyone.
Yeah, yes.
Don't want to step on any
piss
toes.
Off the masses. Lock your doors.
Don't loot.
Don't toot.
Don't pollute.
We're going
and
to
don't
scoot.
loot. If you don't pollute and you don't loot, we salute you.
And save some toilet paper for the rest of us. For goodness sake.
Stop hoarding. All right, see you next time.
I'm going to go wipe my ass with all my Office Works toilet paper.
Okay, when you end this, though, don't close it all the way.
What? Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Bye.